Well, here we are on another lovely day in September. It's going to be a hot day, and as you can see, already sweaty, and I am definitely not dressed for coolness because today what we are doing is we're going to go down this line behind me. We're going to mark out with our marker paint here. We're going to mark out roughly where the line's going to be as far as the fence line. And based on that, we're going to go through and essentially measure to either side of that fence line to try to get enough room on either side for me to get the tractor and the mower through. The goal is eventually I would like to be able to mow on both sides of the fence at the end of this project. We'll see. I'm going to give it a try, go down the middle, see how much I have to take out, and then we'll see how far I get. I may end up at some point deciding it's too much work and just putting the fence to one side or the other, but I feel like I'll at least give it a try, see how it goes. So we're going to be doing a whole bunch of chainsaw work today, taking down trees, and we're not going to try to move them. We're just really going to take them down, just drop them, and then we're going to come in and move them another day. The tractor is not here today, which is why we're not going to move them today. The tractor is off getting fitted for a new accessory. It's going to be a new present for my wife. I hope she'll like it. We'll see. But in either case, today, lots of trees to drop, lots to do. So first task, we're going to go down our line with our marker paint, get that, just some dotted lines on the ground so that we have something to follow. And then from there, we'll start cutting trees. So if you're wondering how I'm going to try to line things up, I'm just going to do it by sight. We've got this marker that I shoved in the ground, piece of rebar with a yellow electric insulator on the top of it. So with that in the ground at this end, at the other end, we have some trees. And there's a tree that's kind of right in the middle of the shot right now. And that tree we're going to go just to the right of. And so I'm going to try to just walk that line and line that up as best I can. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is just an initial run, but it's quicker than getting out a string, running a string for this whole distance, and then winding that string up and all of the annoyance of it. So, and it's good enough. This doesn't need to be perfectly straight. This isn't the actual fence line. This is just to cut trees around. All right. So we got our line. Yes, it's not perfectly straight, I know. I'm not worried about that. Like I said, this is just a very rough line where we try to make it wide enough to get a fence through the middle of it. So to do that, we have a pole. You may notice that this is the exact same piece of plastic that I use to space T-posts when I do the fence line. That is because this thing is approximately 12 feet long. It's just a little bit more than 12 feet long. And the mower, the rotary cutter behind the tractor, is approximately 11'6". So that'll fit in the area of this pole. So the goal is to be able to fit this pole on either side of this line going down here with some extra room. I'd like to leave a few extra feet on either side of it. So what we're going to do, we're going to go down with the pole between the dotted line that I made and the trees, and we're just going to mark trees that need to come out. Am I going to mark every tree that needs to come out? No, I'm going to try to mark the tree furthest back in. Why? Because I'm cheap and I don't want to buy 14 cans of paint because there's going to be quite a lot of trees. So we're going to mark the tree furthest back in, and we'll just try to take out all the trees up to that tree as we go. All right, so now that we've got them all marked, the next thing to do, of course, is get cutting, and that is work for the chainsaw. So we're going to start with the only chainsaw I currently have, which is this guy. This is a STIHL MS-180C. Very easy to start, although there is a break-in period. During that break-in period, it would start beautifully the first time and basically not want to start the second time once it was hot. But after that, now it's great. Starts, you know, third pull the first time and first pull pretty much every other time after that. So it is a great saw. This is only a 16-inch bar, so it's not a real big saw. It's also not real heavy. It's pretty light, which is actually kind of nice. So also not incredibly loud like a lot of the bigger motor saws are. But of course, with that comes, you know, shorter bar. I won't be able to go through everything that I probably need to on this project, and we're just going to see. We're going to go today, we're going to do as much as we can with this, and if we get to stuff that's too big for this, then I guess I have to go buy my wife another present in a bigger chainsaw. So we'll see what happens. Well, that was fun. Did you like that one where I had to get out of the way? Yeah, that was pretty great. I enjoyed that too. We're out of gas, so more gas, more chain oil, and we'll keep going. Well, as you can see behind me, I made a big mess, and that was kind of the point. But we did get all the trees taken out to widen the path so that I can get that 12-foot pole with a good amount of room around it on either side of our center line where the fence will go. So that'll be good. We'll be able to mow on both sides. That's helpful. We still got more to do. As you'll see, there's a few trees that are still, they're cut, but they're hanging over, and that's because they bound up on other trees when I cut them down. And I'm not gonna bother to do anything about those right now because I have something that's gonna take care of those much better when the tractor is back. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, on the chainsaw side of things, we started with this little guy, our STIHL MS-180C. Nice and light. A really good saw. Nothing bad to say about it, but of course, it's kind of small, right? I did end up getting a new one. We'll call it a present for my wife. But yeah, this is the MS-261C. So what I really liked about the 261C, if you compare these two chainsaws, this one is like 9.3 pounds. This is only about a pound more, which is kind of great. But it's literally twice the power of this one. So twice the power for only a pound more, that's pretty great. And I know a lot of people aren't really into weight for chainsaws. Oh, just get the biggest chainsaw you can. But if you're gonna carry the thing all day long, if you're gonna spend, 6 to 8 hours straight out here cutting down trees with it, a 15-pound saw is gonna wear you out. Just unless you're huge, which I'm not. So anyway, nice to have a light saw that's nice and powerful, does a great job on stumps and everything else. So really like this new saw. Anyway, as you can see, with the mess that we have, we got to do something about that mess, which means we got to get all these trees and pieces of trees out of here. So that's going to be next time when I buy another present for my wife and have the tractor back. So stay tuned for that. We'll see you soon.